Hey, what's going on, guys? Dante Trades here, and in this video we're going to be talking about all things take profit trader and some cautions and some warnings you definitely want to make sure that you pay attention to if you're going to be trading with take profit trader. So we're going to do an overview of take profit trader trading rules broken down simply so they are easy to understand. We're going to be talking about account sizes and a deep dive into choosing the best account for your situation. And this is super duper important because most people actually choose this wrong. So you really want to pay attention to this. We're going to be talking about profit goals, contracts, trailing thresholds. We're going to be talking about roads to payouts, how to pass strategies, and why I think this is the best prop firm, and actually even some stuff that I haven't seen anybody else cover on YouTube. And I'm a six-figure trader. If you want a 100% free futures trading course, go to dantetrades.com/free. Link in the description. So platforms and where to click. This is something really basic, but there is some caveat you want to pay attention to here. So for most people, you're going to be, if you want to trade with TradingView, NinjaTrader, or TradingVate, you're going to obviously select this plan. And yeah, if you want rhythmic charts or wheel charts or whatever have you, then you select the other plan. But there is some caveats when it comes to this CQG account, which most people are going to pick, and which is the level 2 data warning. So TPT does not offer level 2 data with CQG. And if you don't know what level 2 data is, which probably maybe 70 to 90% of you don't worry. This actually isn't necessary, but if you're someone who trades a depth of market or the DOM and you need that level 2 data, you just need to be very aware that this is not even offered with the CQG accounts. Like, you can't even buy it. It's just not an option, right? So if you trade with other prop firms, every prop firm comes with level 1, and other prop firms, usually you can buy it as an add-on, but with TPT, you literally cannot buy it as an add-on. And you can see here, I literally reached out to them and they said, we do not offer, this is straight from their mouth, and I haven't seen anybody on YouTube talk about this, but we don't offer market depth for CQG at this moment. My account has the live market data, but it doesn't have that deeper depth of market. So if you want the deeper depth of market, you need to go with the rhythmic data feed. You can actually use a rhythmic with NinjaTrader as well. Again, probably 90% of you out there, this doesn't matter, but I haven't seen anybody talk about this on YouTube, and I'm someone who does trade with that level 2 data. So just something to be aware of. So again, just make sure you select the right account, because if you select the wrong one, you can't get a refund. They won't refund you for that. And once you actually do select the right account, you can actually get a 40% discount and no activation fee. So as you can see here with the 50K account, that takes you from 170 per month to 102 and no activation fee. So that's going to be a nice discount for you there with no activation fee. And it also helps the channel as well. So it's going to be a win-win. So appreciate it if you use that code. Now, next thing we're going to talk about here is the account sizes and choosing the best account. Now, this is really important and actually unique when it comes to take profit trader. And we're going to be breaking this down here. So the first one we have up here is the 25K account. So the main things we're going to focus on here when it comes to this and the value is going to be the profit target, the drawdown that you have, and the amount of leverage that you have. So you can see here in the 25K account that we have a $1,500 profit target, a $1,500 drawdown, and 3 contracts and leverage. So this is going to be what we're focusing on here. So this number 1 here represents how difficult it is to pass. So the number 1 is when you take the profit target and you divide it by the threshold. Obviously 1,500 divided by 1,500 is going to be 1, right? And the closer the number this number is to 1, the better, right? And if this number goes under 1, that means that is even easier to pass. Right now, no profit, no prop firms have any thresholds that are under 1. 1 is going to be the best value that you have, which means it's the easiest to pass. But this number 1 is just the easiest, right? The lower this number is, the easier it is to pass, right? So 25K account, we have the value here 1, and you have 3 contracts of leverage. So that's the first account. Now the second account here, the 50K account, you can see here we have if we go to the website here, we have a $3,000 profit target. We have a $2,000 drawdown, but we have 6 contracts of leverage, right? So you can see from the 25K to the 50K, the increase is 50% difficulty and increase, as you can see here, marked by this 1.5, because if you divide these two numbers, you get 1.5. But with that increase in 50% of difficulty, you have a 200% increase in scale. So that's actually massive. And this value proposition actually makes a lot of sense here. So let's see here. So as you go to the 75K account, so again, let's look at the 75K account. And again, why this is important, because you need to understand the math and the difficulty behind these different types of accounts so you can choose the right account for you. And as we go along here, you're going to see which account really sticks out the most. So the 75K account, again, we have a 4,500 profit goal, we have a 2,500 threshold, and we have non-contracts and increase in scale, right? So this one, it goes up 30% in difficulty from 1.5 to 1.8, but you do have a 50% increase in scale, which is actually decent, right? So that's actually right in line. So what we're actually seeing here with Take Profit Trader is a lot of their offerings are going to be actually pretty good, right? On a lot of other prop firms, you see as the price increases, the difficulty for the scale absolutely makes no sense. But here, these numbers all make sense. But look what happens with the 100K account. Here you have a 20% increase in difficulty from 1.8 to 2, but you only have a 33% increase in scale, so that's okay. But look what happens here when you get to the 150K account. These two accounts here, the 150K and the 100K, they actually are not any more difficult than each other, right? So these two accounts is basically the same exact accounts, but the only difference here is you have a 25% increase in scale and it's not more difficult. So to me, for most people, it does not make sense to get a 100K account because the 150K account is literally exactly the same amount of difficulty. And if you actually look at it here, the most valuable account here is actually the 50K account, because you get a 50% increase in difficulty. But for that 50% increase in difficulty, you have a 200% increase in scale. The 75K is an okay account. For me, the 100K, I just wouldn't get this because it doesn't make sense to get a 100K. And I believe this is one of those products that companies put there to make other products look better. Because if you're going to get the 100K account, you should get the 150K account because it is not more difficult and it's a 25% increase in scale. So this account actually makes no sense. And in my opinion, if you were a Take Profit Trader, you shouldn't get this account. If you're going to get this account, you can spend like $15 more and actually get this account. For the 25K account, you can see the difference in price between these two. Is the 25K account is $150, but the 50K account is only $170. So literally for $20 more per month, and it's actually less than $20. I think it's only like a $10 or $12 difference between the 25K and the 50K account, and you get literally 200% more in leverage and contracts. So for most people, again, for all intents and purposes, the 50K account is just the best value for money. So that's the one that we're going to focus on. Again, you can get any account that you want to, but when you really look at these numbers, again, the 50K account just makes the most sense here, and you can actually scale really, really crazy with 50K account. 6 contracts, in my opinion, is enough leverage for most people, especially for beginners. So again, for the rest of this video, we're just going to focus on the 50K accounts. So the list price for the 50K account is $170 per month, and you get 40% off with the code Dante Trades. So that goes for $170 to $102, as you can see here, $170 to $102. And the activation fee is waived, so there is no activation fee if you use the code Dante Trades as well. So absolutely huge, right? So the total cost to get funded if you pass in 1 month is $102, which is really, really good. And let's just compare that with something like Topstep. So Topstep's 50K account, Topstep's 50K account, they cost $49 for an eval. And the reason why we use Topstep is just because they're the most biggest and relevant competitor, I would say, for most people. So again, just $50 eval, no discounts on this. And if you pass, then you have a $150 activation fee, which is a huge activation fee. And again, here, when you use this code, you have no activation fee, right? So again, that is a $200 in total versus a $102 in total. So that is a huge difference in these accounts, right? It's literally about 50% cheaper. So again, this is one of the lowest costs to funding right now, and Take Profit Trader has the easiest and way more favorable rules compared to Topstep, and we're going to be talking about that here in a minute. So account limits and scale. With Take Profit Trader, you actually can use unlimited concurrent evals, but you can only have 5 active funded pro accounts at any one time. Copy trading across fund accounts is allowed with Take Profit Trader as well. And now we're going to talk about the evaluation and the core specs. So Take Profit Trader, again, we're focusing on the 50K. Profit target 3,000. The max profit is going to be 6 minis or 60 micros. So if you guys don't want to trade those minis, you can also break them down into micros here as well. And the drawdown is going to be $2,000. So that's end of day trailing drawdown. So that's really favorable. I believe before it used to be intraday, but now they moved that to end of day, and there's no daily loss limit. This is also very, very favorable, right? So these are some really, really good rules for the evaluation. And we'll talk about that end of day drawdown. It just means whatever your your profit is at the end of the day. So if you make or lose $500 at the end of the day, that's where your drawdown is going to count versus trailing you intraday. And we're going to talk about what that really means here in detail in a second. So evaluation, 5 key rules. You want to hit the $3,000 profit target. You never want to exceed 6 minis or 60 micros. You don't want to breach the $2,000 end of day trailing drawdown. So that's really, really obvious. And one thing that a lot of people may not know is that you must be flat by 5 p.m. So you just can't hold your positions overnight. If you don't have your positions closed overnight, it's just going to liquidate your trades. So at the end of the trading day is when you need to have your positions closed. And the consistency rule is 50% in the eval, right? So again, your best day can't be over 1,500 because the profit target is 3,000. So you don't want your best day to be over 1,500 for the evals, because again, 50% of 3,000 is $1,500. So again, 50% consistency rule, that's totally doable. Not bad, right? But just be aware of that. You can't pass it all in one trade like you can with some other prop firms. So just be aware of that. So this is one thing you need to be really aware of as well. The minimum trading days to pass is 5 trading days, so 1 week with Take Profit Trader. So again, it's no reason to rush these things when it comes to Take Profit Trader, because the fastest you can possibly pass it is in 1 week. So you want to spread the profits across 5 days. Don't try to flip it in 1 day, because that's literally not even going to help you or benefit you. So the base hits approach works the best when passing these accounts. So passing strategy, an example rhythm, when it comes to Take Profit Trader. So first 1 to 2 days, you want to be modest, just looking for those base hits, maybe around $200 to $400 per day, not really swinging for, a $3,000 to pass it in 1 day like we said. So just those base hits in the first 1 to 2 days to build up a little bit of cushion. And then once you have, a nice little buffer built up, then you want to look for those bigger days in day 3 to 4. So if the setups align, again, you want to stay under $1,500, but you can kind of, as you've built that buffer up, you can kind of swing a little bit more for that $1,500 or those bigger trades in those 3 to 4 days once you've built a bigger buffer up. And then day 5 and beyond, you just want to top off the remaining profit to reach 3,000. Now, if you want a really in-depth example of how I pass these evals and the exact setups that I use, etc., I will pop up a video exactly here. But also as well, you can get that 100% free course that I told you, the futures trading course, and I really break everything down in that course. And tips on this when it comes to passing evals: if I don't see any setups on my Take Profit Trader accounts for that day, so maybe I'm just looking at the market and we're just chopping, or they're just trash setups or anything like that, usually I will just open and close one micro trade for like a couple seconds just to count that as a trading day. Because if you don't trade for a particular day, then it won't count as a trading day for you. So literally, if you just take a one micro trade, so you just open and close one micro, you may make or gain or lose $1. It doesn't really matter, $1 to $5 or something like that. But the point is, I just do that so it can count as a trading day for me if I don't see any setups that day. So I just don't waste a 24-hour cycle, right? So yeah, so funded and pro accounts and what actually changes. The difference between the funded and pro accounts is huge, right? So the first thing is you have no profit target and no consistency rule. So no consistency rule in the pro accounts, right? So this is absolutely massive. So you can make as much money as you want to. This is really, really huge. The second thing is you want to pay attention to is you must place at least one trade per week to keep the account. Now, a lot of people don't know about this, and it can actually lose their accounts if they don't pay attention to this. So you need to place at least one trade per week once you actually place the eval, past the eval, so you don't lose your account. And again, you can just use the tip that I just showed you earlier in the video. If you can't trade that week for whatever, you have a lot going on, you could just take a one micro trade, open it and close it in 5 seconds, 10 seconds or something like that, just to keep your account, just to keep your account, and then you'll be totally fine, right? So just be aware of that, because a lot of people can lose their accounts. They don't know about this rule. Another thing that changes is a news rule. So you can not open trades or close trades 1 minute before or after big scheduled news or red folder news events. So again, just be aware of that, because you don't want to get your account in jeopardy when it comes to trading news. And the drawdown switches to intraday trailing. So this just becomes a little bit more difficult. And if you don't know what intraday drawdown is, let's talk about it. So let's say you have a 50K account, right? So we're talking about 50K accounts, and you have your 50K account, right? Now, let's say you open a trade and you have a winning trade, and your trade goes from 50K, your account goes from 50K to 52K.5, right? So 50K to 52K.5. So you have a winning trade, and it went to 50K to 52K.5. Now, let's say you don't close that trade or whatever have you, because you just had it in your mind that you want to make $3,000 on that trade, and that trade comes back to your break-even point to 50K. Now, in this case, because your top balance was 52K.5, the drawdown is going to trail you from the highest balance in your account, right? Which was 52K.5. If you allow that trade to come back against you from 52.5K back to 50K, you want to blow that account, because even though in the real world you broke even and you didn't really lose any money, because the drawdown trails you from the highest position, the highest amount of capital that you had in your account when the trade was open, this is just going to count as a losing trade. So when it comes to intraday trailing drawdown, you want to make sure that you don't let big green trades turn into red or break even, and you want to be aggressive when it comes to taking those profits and just trailing your trades a little bit more aggressively until you pass your threshold. And intraday trailing drawdown and buffer. So the intraday trailing drawdown favors scalpers and best hit traders, as we just talked about. And in the 50K, once you've baked $2,000 in profit, so once you actually hit your $2,000 in profit on your funded account, that trailing drawdown will stop following you. But until you get to that point, you want to make sure that you're just being a little bit more aggressive when it comes to trailing your stops, right? So from there, once you actually hit that $2,000 in profit, then you can build a cushion and a drawdown no longer trails. So this is not ideal for people who really take these big, huge trades like we just talked about, where you will let a trade run, in your favor, 50 points, 30 points or whatever, and you don't take profits. You're probably just going to struggle with this. So just be aware until you pass that buffer, right? So payouts and daily eligibility, right? So this is what we really love right here. And this is going to be the buffer zone. Again, we just talked about your buffer zone is going to be a max drawdown. So on the 50K account is $2,000. So once you're in profit in the buffer, you can withdraw the access daily, right? So once you hit that $2,000 profit target, you can literally withdraw anything above that $2,000 profit target daily. This is huge, 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 right? So no payout caps. You can withdraw daily, and you can take out all your profits above the buffer immediately and daily. And this combined with the no consistency rule, no payouts, and you can take daily payouts. This is just by far, and nothing even comes close to the payout rules that they have. This basically becomes, once you hit that buffer, a personal account, right? So this is absolutely, absolutely huge. And to give you an example, if you make $3,000, so let's say you get into your funded account, your Pro Plus account. If you make $3,000 the first day, you can take out $1,000 immediately, right? Because again, once anything over that $2,000 buffer zone, you can take out immediately, right? So that will be $1,000. So you can withdraw that same day. And if you do the same thing the next day, you can withdraw again the next day. And you could do that every single day, right? The only drawback to this is that they have an 80-20 split, which is not the best. But for me, because of the value of the accounts that they offer, how easy they are to pass, and also as well, their super favorable payout rules. This for me is totally worth it, right? Because again, nobody even comes close to this. Like nobody comes close to these kind of payout rules. So for me, I'll gladly take that 80-20 because the payout rules are very generous, right? So payout methods, they have Plaid, so just basically just US Bank, just wire straight to your bank, which is ACH. They have Wise if you're international, or PayPal. So there you go. And fast processing, you can just choose whatever works best for your banking setup. So who Take Profit Trader fits best for and why, in my opinion? For me, it's going to be newbies and most people out there because they have the most easy and most lax rules when it comes to passing the evaluation stage. The only drawback you can really say about the evaluation stage is that they make you wait 5 days. But I mean, that's not really more difficult. It just takes a little bit more time. But other than that, it's super easy to pass. And their rules are just really simple and laid back. These are the easiest rules again by far. So this is going to be best for newbies and just most people out there, in my opinion. They've got the best payout rules and the best products and the perfect balance of leverage versus difficulty compared to other firms, in my opinion. So the no consistency rule on the Pro Plus and the daily payouts and the no payout caps is the game changer. This is going to be best for scalpers and base hit traders who take profits quickly. This is going to be any prop firm in general, right? Now they do have, this is going to be any prop firm in general. Again, this is just because if you like to hold like trades for a really long time, like if you're a swing trader or if you're someone who is going to be, again, just normally lets trades run against you or holding really big open positions and stuff like that, you're going to struggle with prop firms in general. So just be aware of that. So there you go. Anyone who is actually comfortable with working with intraday drawdown and the funded stage, once you hit that $2,000 target, that's not going to follow you anymore. But this is just something we got to stress that you have to really pay attention to when it comes to working with prop firms and things like that, is the intraday trailing drawdown in the funded stage. Again, anyone looking for low cost of funding and daily positive flexibility, this is again just the best prop firm out there right now, in my opinion. This is my favorite prop firm. Now, even though this is my favorite prop firm and they are awesome, you have to realize that prop firms are just tools. You want to think of prop firms just like training wheels on a bike. And just like in crypto, so I started in trading crypto. We have this phrase in crypto, it's called not your keys, not your crypto. And with prop firms, I like to say, not your funds, not your profits, right? And this mindset that I'm about to tell you here, it comes to trading any prop firm out there, whether it be Take Profit Trader, whether it be Topstep, or any prop firm. And is that at these prop firms, we don't know what's really happening behind the scenes. We don't know how much cash on hand that they have. We don't know anything, right? They could be inches away from going down overnight. So the goal in mind when trading prop firms is always going to be, always aim to build your own account. That's where the real freedom in the goal is. We don't really know what's happening behind the scenes with any prop firm, right? Again, while I do like Take Profit Trader and all these other prop firms, we really don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And we are just leveraging these prop firms as tool to build our own money and our own capital. And that money is not real until you pull it out of the markets, pull it out of that account and put it into your bank account. So just know that is the goal, not to just build up these prop firm accounts. One unique perk when it comes to funded accounts with Take Profit Trader is if you do blow a funded account, they allow up to 3 resets on funded accounts, right? So this is useful if you stumble after, you activate your Pro Plus account and you lose, but it is quite expensive. But just know that this is something that they do offer. If you do blow a Pro Plus account, you can reset that Pro Plus account without having to go through the eval stage again, right? And the last thing I'll leave you here is going to be the 4 payout rule. So don't stop after you take your first payout. It might just be luck. It's unlikely, but still, after 4 payouts, in my opinion, you've proven that you can trade consistently. Then you want to start saving money to build up your own account. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you actually found that valuable, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know if you have any questions or anything like that down in the description. And like I said as well, I do have that free course that you can check out in the description. And that's going to be it for me in this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.